What's with that look? You look just like a pig nursing its young on TV.
There I was, having gained weight after giving birth, nursing our baby when suddenly my drunk husband burst out laughing.
You, with your round body, nursing our baby. You're just like a pig. When did I start running a pig farm?
Did he just call me a pig? I was so shocked, I froze. Fueled by alcohol, he kept going.
And honestly, the baby isn't cute at all. With that round face and all the crying at night.
Did you just say our child isn't cute?
Yeah, I did. And of course, you're not either. Ugly and fat. I can't accept the reality that you're my wife. Honestly, I could never love a fat woman like you ever again.
With a serious face, he stood me up and locked me and our daughter in a cold, cramped room. When I woke up the next morning, he was gone. The bar blocking the room was removed. Holding my daughter, I left the room and was stunned when I turned back. A paper saying pigsty was stuck on the door of the room we were in. And seeing that, I lost it. My husband, who had just called me a pig and dismissed our daughter as unattractive, I couldn't forgive him. And so, I decided to get thorough revenge on my husband. My name is Angela, a 32-year-old housewife currently taking care of our child. I'm fairly attractive and was even chosen as Miss Campus in college. But after graduating and working at a company, I faced harassment from a senior for being favored for my looks. Physically and mentally exhausted, I quit. I decided to work as a temp. The company wasn't very famous, but my colleagues were nice, and it seemed like a peaceful place to work. My supervisor there, who would later become my husband, was Elliot. From our first meeting, he complimented my looks. Elliot, too, was tall, slim, and as handsome as a popular actor. I gradually started to fall for him, and soon we were going out to eat together. A year later, he proposed, and I happily accepted. We then went to greet each other's families who lived far away. My parents were thrilled about the marriage. Next, we visited Elliot's home. His father had passed away, and his mother lived alone, working in agriculture. On the day of our visit, his mother warmly took my hand with a friendly smile. "Oh, my son brought home such a beautiful girl. I'm so happy. Elliot, make sure you take good care of her."
I know, Mom.
We were warmly welcomed by his mother, and our marriage was decided. On the way home, he said to me,
Mom was all smiles. She must have really liked you, Angela.
"I hope so. That would make me really happy."
She raised me alone, and is actually quite strict. When she's angry, she's really scary.
Really? I wouldn't have guessed that. We talked like this as we headed back to our city home. When we announced our marriage at work, everyone congratulated us, saying we were a beautiful couple. I left my temp job when the contract ended and became a full-time housewife after the wedding. Overall, our newlywed life was happy. Elliot worked outside, so he didn't do much housework, but I didn't mind since I was a housewife. We had a good relationship, going out and eating together on weekends.
You're a beauty. I can be proud anywhere I take you.
I I would blush at such compliments from him. Half a year after our marriage, I felt unwell and went to the hospital. I was told I was pregnant. When I told Elliot, he was overjoyed, jumping up in excitement.
It's our child. They're going to be so beautiful. I wonder if it's a boy or a girl.
Elliot, you're getting ahead of yourself. I felt truly happy during our conversation. Time passed, and at 9 months pregnant, I went back to my hometown to give birth. A month later, I gave birth to a girl and named her Emma, a name we had thought of before. Elliot couldn't come because of his busy work schedule. I decided to return when Emma could hold her head up. She was an easy baby, but she refused to drink from a bottle, so I breastfed her. My parents adored her and helped a lot, which was a huge relief. After Emma's 3 months checkup, and once she could hold her head up, I decided to return to our city home. I wondered how Elliot would react to seeing Emma for the first time. Surely, he would find her cute and thank me for my hard work. With these thoughts, I excitedly boarded the bus home. When I got home, Elliot wasn't back yet, so I did some housework while waiting. Eventually, he came home. I went to greet him at the door, holding Emma. Here's the long-awaited reunion. But at that moment, Elliot's face showed shock.
Hey, what's with that look?
Huh?
Angela, you've gained way too much weight. How many pounds did you put on?
Actually, I had already gained quite a bit of weight before pregnancy, and I hadn't quite gotten back to my pre-pregnancy shape. So I had gained about 22 pounds. I haven't really weighed myself, but maybe around 22 pounds.
What? You gained 22 pounds? That's unbelievable.
He was so shocked, he dropped his bag. Then I said to him, I used to be really thin, and during pregnancy I was advised to gain weight. And after giving birth, isn't it natural that I haven't slimmed down completely yet? Is it that surprising?
Of course, it's surprising. I was expecting to come home to a beautiful wife, and I get this? Seriously, not cool.
You don't have to talk like that. Enough about me. Look at Emma. It's your first time meeting her. I tried to show Emma to him, but he immediately looked away.
I can't get over the shock. I just can't deal with this right now. Leave me alone.
Saying that, he locked himself in his room. All I could do was stand there dumbfounded. After that, life began with just the three of us, Elliot, Emma, and me. He became cold to me, as if our time before pregnancy never existed. He wouldn't greet me or even make eye contact in the house. Of course, he didn't help with childcare at all. I had to handle all the housework and childcare by myself. Some time passed, and one weekend night, Elliot came home completely drunk. He said his colleagues had thrown him a baby celebration. He flopped onto the sofa and started dozing off as soon as he got home. I was nursing Emma nearby. Suddenly, he started laughing. Startled, I looked over, and he said to me,
What's with that look? You look just like a pig nursing its young on TV.
Excuse me?
You, with your round body, nursing our baby? You're just like a pig. when did I start running a pig farm?
Did he just call me a pig? I was so shocked. I froze, and my husband, fueled by alcohol, continued.
And honestly, the baby isn't cute at all. With that round face and all the crying at night.
Did you just say our baby isn't cute?
Yeah, I did. And of course, you're not either. Fat and ugly. I can't accept the reality that you're my wife. Honestly, I could never love a fat woman like you ever again.
Suddenly, his expression turned serious, and he grabbed my wrist and made me stand up. Hey, what are you doing?
Just looking at your face and that ugly body makes me sick. Stay out of my sight.
Then he locked me and Emma in a cold, cramped room. I pleaded to be let out, but the door was barred and wouldn't open. That night, we ended up sleeping in that room. When I woke up the next morning, he was gone, and the bar was removed. Holding Emma, I left the room and froze when I looked back. A paper saying pigsty was stuck on the door of the room we were in. Seeing that, I lost it. My husband had just called me a pig and dismissed our daughter as unattractive. I couldn't forgive him. At that moment, I decided to get thorough revenge on my husband. From that day, I spent time with Emma in the room marked pigsty. First, I focused on getting back to my original shape. I put up photos of a model I was once told I resembled on the wall. I completely changed my diet. I started exercising in my spare time, doing squats while holding Emma and standing on my toes while doing housework. I created a social media account called Angela at Postpartum Diet Demon and began posting daily updates of my body, food, and exercise. With all this effort, I gradually started to lose my weight. Next, I started serving high-calorie meals for Elliot's lunch and dinner. Meals loaded with meat and deep-fried foods. Elliot, a junk food lover, happily ate them. He had started referring to me as Pig instead of my name, but I didn't say anything back. I even turned that bitterness into motivation for my diet. By the time Emma was a year old, I had almost returned to my pre-pregnancy figure. My husband didn't seem to notice. I had lost the energy to dress up in front of him, spending my days in baggy sweatpants. He remained uninvolved in childcare and stopped talking to me. On the rare occasions he needed something, he called me Pig. I did the bare minimum housework and stayed mostly in the room labeled pigsty, living like we were separated within the house. 2 years after Emma was born, I decided to put her in daycare and look for a job. Fortunately, I found work at a reception desk at a local gym. Then I started using the gym equipment in my free time, further toning my body. I also didn't skip my regular skin and hair care routines. Although I spent my time at home barefaced with messy hair at work, I started receiving compliments again about looking beautiful, like before my pregnancy. Being called beautiful by others helped me regain my confidence. Finally, the perfect opportunity for revenge arrived. It was the day Elliot's mother was coming to visit us for the first time. He went to pick her up from the bus terminal, and Emma and I were to meet them later for dinner. After confirming he had left, I started getting ready. I ditched the baggy sweats and slipped into a size 4 dress I had prepared for this day. I did my makeup and hair perfectly and left the house with Emma. On the way, Elliot texted me,
"Hey, Pig, are you coming?"
So I took a screenshot of that. Arriving at the restaurant, he had his back to us, but his mother noticed us first. "Angela, Emma, over here." Elliot frowned and turned around. Then, seeing my transformed appearance, his eyes widened and his mouth fell open. My mother-in-law, seeing her granddaughter, beamed with joy. "Emma, it's Grandma. You're so adorable, and you look just like your beautiful mother, Angela." Unaware of Elliot's reaction, she happily talked to Emma. I sat next to her and began to speak. "Hi, it's been a while. I hate to bring this up, but..." "What's wrong?" I then showed her my phone screen, the picture of our pigsty room, and the recent text from my husband. What's this?" For the last few years, Elliot has been calling me a pig. I was locked in a room labeled pigsty and did all the childcare and housework. I've endured his harassment, but I've reached my limit. I want a divorce from Elliot.
What?
It was him, not his mother, who was shocked. When I asked him what, he hastily said,
That's just, a slip of the tongue. I don't think that way now. Angela, you've returned to your beautiful pre-pregnancy self. We don't need to get a divorce, right?
Until a moment ago, I was still pig to you, wasn't I? Well, you haven't been looking at me, so it's no surprise you didn't notice the change. Besides, what you think doesn't matter. My daughter and I don't need you anymore. His face then twisted with malice.
How are you going to live, a single woman with a child? You've been living off me.
Then, women at the next table who looked like office workers started whispering. Did you hear that? That jerk saying terrible things to such a beautiful wife. Did he call her a pig? That's horrible. He should take a look at himself in the mirror. His face turned redder and redder. That's right. He had become bloated in the past few years, a far cry from his once handsome self. I smiled at the woman at the next table, then turned back to Elliot. Don't worry about our livelihood. I've just become a full-time employee at the fitness gym I work at, and I'm going to publish a book, so money isn't an issue.
A book?
I showed him the Angela at Postpartum Diet Demon account screen. It had over 50,000 followers, with comments like, "You're an inspiration," and "Angela, you're amazing." I started this account to get revenge on you. Then one day a publisher contacted me. They wanted me to write a diet book. So yeah, I want a divorce.
But divorce? You can't be serious.
He stammered as he looked at the divorce papers I presented. Then his mother unleashed her fury. Enough, Elliot! All you can do now is sign that paper. Let these two be free.
Mom?
You mocked your wife for gaining weight after pregnancy without understanding how hard it is. You don't deserve to be called a father. Sign it now. Glared at by both me and his mother, he shrank back and signed. I took the papers, smiled at my mother-in-law, took Emma, and left. Later, our divorce was finalized. I received half of our savings and agreed on a monthly child support of $500. After we left, Elliot's unhealthy eating increased, and he became even more obese, eventually getting sick. He tried to contact me to reconcile, but I immediately blocked his number. Now, he lives alone, struggling to pay child support. Knowing this, I just think serves him right. As for me, I moved into a new house with my daughter using the alimony. My book is selling well, and I'm going to appear on TV. My mother-in-law has apologized many times and asked to keep seeing Emma, so I let her visit regularly. From now on, I want to enjoy my daughter's growth and live my life with joy and optimism.